சதீஷ தெரியலண்ணா. என்ன ரொம்ப லேட்டா வருது? இருங்க பாக்குறேன். இருங்க சார், ஒரே நிமிஷம். பேசுங்க சார்.
Yes, Professor, am I audible? Am I audible, Professor? ஆமாமா, லைவ்ல இருக்குப்பா, லைவ் போயிட்டு இருக்கு.
இப்ப நான் போன்லயே இருந்துக்கிட்டா ஒன்னும் வேலைக்கு ஆகல. அப்ப நான் ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட் எடுத்துக்கிறேன் சார். ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட்ஸ்ல எடுத்துக்கிறேன்.
Good morning. Check.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Check.
Sir, we'll start, sir. Chief guest sir join.
Yeah, you guys doing? Good morning, all. Just be online. Good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Morning, sir.
Good morning,
Chef
sir.
will be joining shortly. He has some connectivity issues now. I just spoke to him. He'll be joining shortly. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, Krishna. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sagar. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear?
Well,
Can you
just
hear me?
for a second.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Sorry, guys. Sorry for the delay. Just wait for 2 seconds.
Yeah, sure, sure. ಇಲ್ಲ 2 minutes ಕೇಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. Hello.
Sir, I don't know whether chef is there in the call. Chef is there?
Yes, Satish.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, Satish, you're asking something.
No, I was checking whether the guest is there inside. Yes. Yes,
Hello,
joined.
Krishna. Hello. So you joined, Satish?
Yes, sir. Just now we joined.
Krishna? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Perfect. I can hear you.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, chef.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
To all. So everybody has joined?
Yeah, they joined and we just have small.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Good morning. Wish you all a very happy Chef's Day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, it's pleasure to meet you all in the net. So today you're having a college or no? Mr. Sudhakar, can you hear me?
Yeah. Very well. Very much I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, we just start
Okay.
with Satish will start, and then we can have a session directly.
Please.
Satish.
Sir, yes, sir. So, good morning, one and all present here.
Good morning.
PhD College of Arts and Science, Pioneer College in Coimbatore, had its inception in the year 1947. And the college has more than 57 departments and with 13,000 students, which is the college with the highest number of students in India. And the Department of Catering Science had its inception in the year 1999. And from then onwards, the department conduct a lot of activities, student-centric activities, and we give a lot of exposure by conducting various events and competitions. In fact, our chef has come to our college to judge an event, and we have a good connection with the chef. Thank you, chef, for accepting today's invitation.
Thank you very much.
And
for inviting me.
today's chef, and today's International Chef Day we celebrate on October 20th of every year, and it is since its creation in 2004. The event is continuously happening, and the main objective is to teach children around the globe about the importance of healthy eating by hosting fun-filled workshops worldwide. That is what is happening. And so in last year during this COVID, many chefs around the globe did not have the opportunity to have events due to COVID, and they created short videos to share with the children on social media, and again that became a huge hit. And the videos allowed us to reach approximately 1,12,000 students worldwide. And so this in the year 2021, this will emphasize World Chef Day, International Chef Day will emphasize sustainability and the environment to ensure a healthy planet for future generation. It is important for us to teach children about the impact that production and consumption of food has on the environment. So having said that, I would like to call Mr. Vasanta Kumar. No, I would like to call Sudhakar to deliver the welcome address. Sudhakar, sir.
Yeah, good morning, and all. On behalf of the management of PhD College of Arts and Science and the Department of Catering and Hotel Management and BOC Hospitality Management, I deem it a great privilege to welcome you to welcome all of you for this program, for this webinar on the occasion of the International Chef's Day. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our secretary, our principal, our vice principal for their continued support and giving us the platform to organize this webinar. I would also like to welcome our chief guest, the resource person, Mr. B. Krishnan, the executive chef of Carlton Kodaikanal. He's a good friend of me and also is the same batch. And he has come up through his hard work. He has worked in various capacities and now he's a renowned chef. He is working currently as executive chef, the Carlton Kodaikanal. And I'd like to welcome him on behalf of the department and the staff members for this webinar. And I request all of our students to take part actively, to interact with the chef and gain some information, valuable information, and carry forward home the message, particularly those who have wanted to take up a career for the chef as a profession, particularly, you need to take the key points and interact with the chef so you learn about this profession. And happy International Chef Day to everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And before we start, here is Vasant Kumar to give a small introduction about our chef.
Thank you, sir. A very good morning to our head of the department, distinguished guests, my dear colleagues and students. It's my pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Krishnan, executive chef, Carlton Kodaikanal. We are honored by your presence, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Krishnan started his career as hotel operation trainee from Hotel Taj Groups of hotels. He has worked with Princess Cruises and Holland America Line as sous chef and executive chef respectively. I'm grateful for your presence in this webinar. I hope today our students will be motivated and will gain knowledge from your thoughts, sir. Happy Chef Day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vasant. Yes, chef. Now we'll go with our most awaiting moment. The chef, we will say the screen is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Satish.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Vasant Kumar. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, chef.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this webinar. And I don't want to make this as a very formal session, so it has to be interactive. After telling few points, please you ask me questions so that I really will know where I am standing and I can explain you where you can improve yourself. Yeah. My name is Krishnan. As Mr. Vasant Kumar said, I joined Taj Group through campus interview as a hotel operation trainee, and I worked with Taj for nearly 8 to 9 years. After that, I left, joined Princess Cruises. I was with Princess for 5 years. In the Princess Cruises, I am the only Indian to join as a second cook, that is Namish of the party. From the level of sous chef, I joined cruise lines as a Namish of the party. Within 2 years, I became again the sous chef. Then after 4-5 years, I think it's 5 years, I joined Holland America as a sous chef and left the cruise lines as executive chef and relieving executive chef. Now I'm presently working with Carlton as an executive chef since 10 years. And I should say, after pandemic, our job, that is the chef's job, is really, really very challenging and interesting. So this is a short brief about my career. And whoever wants to become a chef or aspiring the chefs, 3 things I want to tell you: hard work, dedication, loyalty. These 3 things you have to follow very strictly. Without hard work, you can never become a chef. And also, you should have lot of sacrifice. You have to do a lot of sacrifice to become a chef. I love my job, and when you love your job and how much of a difficulty it is, you will not feel the difficulty. So I want you guys to ask me questions so that I can answer and give a lot of incidents and make the session more interesting. Mr. Satish?
Yes, sir. I'll start with it. You told that 3 important things for a chef: hard work, dedication, and loyalty.
Yes, sir.
And when you say dedication, sacrifice, many will get scared. What am I to sacrifice? So if you could just tell what kind of a sacrifice, it will give a clear idea to our students.
Sacrifice means not sacrificing yourself fully. You can have a good time, you can have a good life, everything is okay. But one thing, one thing, when the hotel industry, for example, you take your meal time. What is the
Any
dinner
kudikin
time?
madi. Kudikin madi.
7 o'clock to 10:30, right? Most of the people will come to restaurant or hotels by 10 o'clock. That is after 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. For other people who are working with the banks, other industries, they will go home, relax at the time. But at the time you will be working. This is a little sacrifice. This is what I mean to say. A sacrifice of a normal life. But you will have a very different, challenging, and exciting life than others. But it will be on a different timing. For example, holidays. All the holidays you will be working. The rest of the people will be enjoying. When those people are enjoying, you will be working. That's the difference. Okay.
And chef, there is one question from Akshaya of first year. The question is, when did you decided to become a chef? Is it you were passionate to become a chef, or it is just it came in your way and you took it? When did you decided to become a chef?
Okay. After finishing my actually, I passed out from SNR 93 batch. That time, only few colleges in Coimbatore had catering. Okay. So after finishing every semester, we used to go to a hotel for industrial training. After finishing my industrial training, I decided that I'm interested. That is, the chef is within me. So I thought I'll become a chef after doing all my industrial trainings. So when practically when you go to a hotel, you work in different departments. Sometimes you'll feel that this department suits you more. So that time I decided kitchen was more suitable for me, and I was more passionate towards cooking.
Thank you, chef. And students, if you want, you can directly raise your hands and you can ask questions instead of posting me and me asking. You can directly ask the questions. Chef, there is one more question there. The same student have asked.
Okay.
As a chef, what do you think is your strength in the industry? And she has also asked about the weakness as a chef, the strength and weakness. What do you think?
Strength and weakness as working as a chef, right? Am I right?
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Okay.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
The strength is that you like the job, what you do. See, every job has got its pros and cons. But of course, the chef job has got more cons, because the only one thing is you can't just dedicate more hours to your family. That is just like that. You can't take your leaves, and basically the social life for chefs is very less. That is the only con. But rest everything is positive. You tend to meet a lot of people. You tend to do a lot of cooking. That is, you will live a life which you really like it. This is the strength of a chef. And not everybody can become a chef. For example, now everybody is telling that I'm a cook, I'm a chef. No. A real chef or a cook will really show his talents only after the hard training of 10 to 12 years. After 7 years only, you'll really know what is cooking. It's not like that I'm telling that before 7 years, you will ask me, before 7 years, can't I cook or something? Yes, you can cook. The perfection in you will come out only after 7 to 10 years. Okay? Yes, any other questions?
Students, guys, if you have questions, please.
Okay. Now, we have two excellent students from PSG working with Carlton. One is Mr. Kavin, and other person is Dinakaran. They are doing an excellent job. One thing I want to tell you, when you are in the college, of course, all your faculties, your HOD are excellent. The only thing is you have to try to get more and more knowledge from them. I know between 20 to 20, that is during your college days, your mind will not be not so mature. It be wavering everywhere, and you want to get into more fun and all these things. Everything is fine, but sometime you have to dedicate yourself to learn your trade which you like. Either it can be housekeeping or service or kitchen. Yes, of course, kitchen. You need more time or more dedication to learn theoretically. Then only you can come and apply your knowledge practically. So your career path will be easy. After joining some hotels, you want to try, that is, you want to try to learn more, you can learn. But before joining the hotel itself, you have to be basically prepared. That is, knowledge wise, you should be prepared to take up your job. Then your growth and also your job in any hotel will be easy. If you go to any hotel that is blindfolded, then it will be very difficult for you and also for the production, that is the chefs or the staff over there. Did you understand what I say? Sorry, some question popped up. I couldn't able to see that properly.
I'll read it for you.
Yes, sir.
There is a question. I hope the students have got what you have said earlier, like the importance of acquiring the basic knowledge before entering into the industry.
Yes.
And the question here is, sir, working in abroad and settling there, or working in abroad and gain some experience and then return to our country, which is best? That's the question from Ashwin.
It's purely your personal choice. Actually, when I was working in the ships, I used to get a lot of chances to settle down in Canada and US. But I didn't opt for it because I like India more and I like my own place. So the option is yours. It all depends upon your mindset. And don't think that is working in abroad and settling down in abroad is very easy. That is also, it's more difficult than India. One thing I want to tell you, that is, if you don't have proper knowledge or if you don't acquire proper knowledge and working skills, you can't work in abroad. In India, if you join any 5-star hotels, you can join as a trainee. So from basics, we teach you everything. That is, we consider that you don't know anything and we teach from the basics. But when you go abroad, it's not like that. Everything is put in black and white. Suppose you join as a chef de partie in any, so that is in any of the hotels or the ship or anything, your production chart will be given, the recipes will be given, and there will be nobody will guide you. at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening before dinner, you have to produce the things and just give it. There is no ifs and buts. Do you understand? So before going abroad, you need to be well trained. Otherwise, there also you will be landed in a position as a training, which is not good. Okay. And settling down in abroad, yes, a lot of my friends, they are in Canada, US and everything. They opted for that life. But most of the chefs who gone there to the cruises and other places, they came back to India because the life in India is much, much better than abroad. This is my personal opinion.
Yes,
Mr. Arun,
students.
Mr. Arun has raised his hand.
Yes, Arun. Please go ahead. Arun, you can unmute yourself and ask question.
Thank you.
Arun is there? No, he's not.
Is
Chef,
there?
one more thing is, I have been telling the students the importance of the foundation, the basic things what they study in first year, the fundamentals. Even for the third year students, we used to insist on the fundamentals. Maybe if we can hear from you about the importance of fundamentals, the students will take it more seriously.
Yeah, okay. As Mr. Vasan said, the fundamentals is more important. You know what? The first year, when we join the college, everything is new for us. The second year, we learn something, but we will be into more fun also. Third year, we'll be in a fun mode and also in a very dilemma to do what. There will be a little bit fear on you. No need to get fear. See, when you follow all your professors and your HOD properly and take their knowledge, that is basically what I mean to say is you need to just invest a little bit of your time every day to learn the skills. Of course, you can't do everyday practical, but at least theoretically, you can be little strong. So when you see a substance, that is when you come to a hotel, when you are theoretically good, if you see a product, if you identify the name of the product, so people will be happy. They know that at least you have taken some initiative to learn something which will help everybody. See, why the hotels are recruiting trainees, not recruiting, that is the people from catering college will not be recruited straight as a sous chefs or chef de parties or executive chefs. They'll be recruited as trainees. What is the reason? Because a building can be a strong building, can be built only on the basement. So your basement has to be strong. That's what. The fundamentals is always important. We can't ignore them. The white sauce is a white sauce, brown sauce is a brown sauce, velouté is velouté. This will not change throughout your career. Unless and until you don't have a thorough basic knowledge, it's very, very difficult to survey in the industry. Because there is always a difference between a cook and a chef. You, from a catering college, suppose a person coming from PhD, the expectation, like me, like a chef, about the person is more. We expect that this person knows everything. At least theoretically he knows everything, but practically we can teach them. But if you don't know that, it will be disappointing and it makes life very difficult for both you and your employer. So the fundamentals is more and more important. Whatever they're teaching you, it's important. You will think that where I'm going to apply this. No. Even if you take a front office and you become a general manager, and if you don't have any knowledge about the kitchen or housekeeping or engineering, you will be a big failure. So theoretically, if you know that people can't cheat you, you can have a proper management and you will be a successful general manager. Okay. Yes.
So I hope you got the question, sir. The most
Yes.
challenging. I thought of asking like to narrate any two complaints as you got being a chef, but then this question is more appropriate.
Okay. So there is every day is a challenge for a chef. It's not like that one day, every day will be a challenge for a chef. And for example, you can't meet 100% accuracy in everything. What are the food you make? 80% might like it, 20% may not like it. So the 20% is your challenge. You need to go to them, ask them, interact personally, and find out exactly what you want. You know, the normal complaint what we get is the people who travel from North India to South India, they expect authentic North Indian food. Like wherever we South Indian go, we'll ask for idli and dosa, right? Of course, how poor the quality is, if you get a idli or dosa, you'll be very happy. Like that, the person from North India, when he suppose he comes to Kodaikanal, stays in my hotel, he asks, chef, can I have a good dal makhani? I'll give a dal makhani, but he will say it's not like what we make it, because like every house, the sambar recipe is different. Like that in North India, every house, the dal makhani is different. Whatever the recipe, standard recipe, and everything we got in our hotel is fits 80% of the people, but the 20% will be a separate bracket. They are our real challenge. Okay, so satisfying those people, the only way is interact with them, ask them personally what they want. Some people might like very spicy food, some people might like a bland food. So only solution for this challenge is you need to interact with the guest and find out their personal requirement. Okay, and after pandemic, this, how many third year students are participating in this program?
Chef, we have students watching through YouTube also. We are live on YouTube.
Okay.
So they had an exam and many have watching through YouTube and few have joined here.
Okay, fine. Now, after pandemic, no, before pandemic also it existed, but it was not so, that is aggressive like after pandemic. Now everybody must be talking a word called FSSI. Yes? Food Safety Standards Authority of India. Like United States Public Health, like HACCP, Indian government has laid a set of rules which has to be strictly followed in all the food establishments, that is FSSI. So as a chef, as a part of our job, it's our duty to implement each and every rule of a FSSI. So FSSI is nothing but the hygiene and standards. So basically, which you study, the food safety and hygiene is a subject included in your curriculum, Mr. Vasan, Mr. Satish?
Yes, chef. We have it.
Okay.
We have a separate paper called as hygiene and sanitation.
Yes.
And
Yes. Now, my only sincere request is everybody who is passing out, you should be thorough knowledge in this hygiene and sanitation papers, because whatever you read, everything will be implemented as soon as you enter the hotel. So the cooking is separate and this is separate, but now it has become part and parcel of this. So every chef should, that is every student who is passing out from the hotel should have a thorough knowledge about the food safety and hygiene, which will help you to execute the things very easily. Yeah.
Yeah, students, if you have questions, you can post or you can ask.
Oh, Akshay has asked me
So
how to handle the negative comments. Of course, to fall on their feet. There's a joke apart. See, negative comments, that's what I told you. Negative comments, how it comes. Suppose one person suppose a chef makes a Rogan Gosh and he delivered to the table. But the guest would have imagined the Rogan Gosh where he ate somewhere else. But what comes to the table might be different. So the only solution is As soon as you get any negative comments, please go to the guest personally, ask him what he wants. Just ask for some time, make a fresh food and give it to him. 100%, you will be happy. This is the only way we can handle with the negative comments.
Yes, chef. Who inspired you to become a chef, and why? The most important is the why aspect.
Okay. uh, this when we just passed out, we didn't have the media was not so powerful. Okay, so we didn't have much of role model. But whenever we go to a hotel for industrial training, there we see a person or a chef, his behavior, his way of handling, his that is his strengths, that makes us to choose chef as a career. For me, one Mr. Amit Ghosh, he was a banquet chef in Taj. He inspired me a lot because whatever the situation he handles, that is, he handled very calmly. The quality which I liked, but now we can't be that is so soft every time. But that chef was very soft, and the way he handled, I liked it very much. So I followed his footsteps, and he's he's my role model. Like he inspired me to become a chef, Mr. Amit Ghosh.
Thank you, chef. And there is one more question. That is, say, what are all the no? Was it difficult to decide what you want after what you wanted to expertise in after you finish the course? In the sense, once you go to the industry, can you change the department? Say, I'm working in F&B service, then I want to go to the kitchen. I have a passion towards kitchen. Shall I do it? I hope that's the question I have asked.
Okay. This is a little difficult. You know what? Before entering the industry, you decide what you want to become. After entering the industry, after 2 or 3 months, that is you express your wish to change the department. It will not work out. They think that you don't have a fixed mind. That is your just like what to say. That is, you are not strong in your decisions. Which impression which you should not give. You have 3 years, and also you will be doing a lot of trainings and everything. That time you have ample time to decide what you want to become. So it's better, you can do it, but it's better to avoid taking decision after joining the industry. Before joining the industry, whatever it is, take your own time. Maybe you sit at home for 6 months and decide what you want to become. And once you enter the industry, you just stick to what you chose.
And they've asked the difficult part of being a chef and your favorite role. Difficult part, I hope you have told that you have to do a lot of sacrifice being a chef. And what is your favorite role, chef, as being a chef?
Favorite role, I didn't get you.
Favorite role in the sense, I do not know on what basis Vishalini have asked being a favorite role. That is supervising or blasting at the people not working, or coming out with new dishes, or interacting with the guests.
Okay, my favorite role, that is my favorite moments, I tell you. Suppose the whole day you're working and you create nice dishes, deliver to the guest. At the end of the day, you can, if you see happiness in their face and say, chef, today food was good. That was the moment which I was expecting the whole day. So that moment makes myself and the entire team happy. Even if you give millions and millions of rupees, people will not be happy. But the appreciation which you get for your hard work will make you happy. Am I right?
Yes, thank you. And our faculty, Ms. Usha, asked the question: which cuisine are you specialized in, and what is your signature dish?
Okay. This a lot of people ask me. I'm telling you, earlier I told you there is a difference between a chef and a cook. When we entered the industry, there were people called ustads, the master chefs. Indian cuisine, you can't even enter the cuisine because it's ruled by them. But now, after finishing our 3 years of hotel management, catering technology, when you enter the hotel, you will be trained in all the departments. There's a lot of difference between a cook and a chef. A chef is a person who knows cooking and manages the kitchen and runs the kitchen. A cook is a person who cooks the food. So you can't just put yourself into a small circle as a cook. As a chef, you have to learn everything. You should know pantry, you should know bakery, you should know Indian, South Indian, Mexican, Italian, because nowadays the people travel a lot. So wherever you get an opportunity to learn something better, please you learn it. The knowledge is power. The knowledge is everything. You never know when a person will pop up and ask you, Chef, can you give me one Tex-Mex burrito? That time you can't say, sorry, sir, I'm specialized in South Indian. I don't know that. That means you will not next time come to the hotel. You can have a specialization, that is the cuisine which you like more. Of course, my favorite cuisine is South Indian and Mexican. But I have fair knowledge about all the cuisine. Any dishes which you tell me that I should be able position in to make the dish. At least I should have a basic knowledge about the dish. So please learn everything. Wherever that is, whichever the cuisine you're interested, please go deep into it. But about the other cuisines, you should have a fair knowledge.
So, chef, basically in the kitchen, we normally see chefs, there is a lot of shouts and noise happening. So there is one question which talks about anger and hospitality industry. Anger and hospitality industry is one question.
It's not like that. Why we are shouting in the kitchen is the burners will be working, the machines will be running, and a lot of refrigerators will be working, the fans will be working. Okay, so the hearing ability inside the kitchen is less. That's the reason people are shouting with the loud voice and mics. So you should not take into wrong sense. They are not shouting. That's their normal voice.
True, chef. And they've asked any best compliments you have received and from whom? Any special guest who have complimented? And they've asked one more question. Any latest dish you have come up after this COVID or during this COVID?
Actually, that's nice one. Compliments. A lot of compliments we get. But one thing, you have to follow just the Gita words, the Gita sayings, just do your duty. Don't expect anything. That is the best thing to do in our industry. For getting compliments, you need not to be very happy, or getting your negative remarks, you need not to be demotivated. It's all part of your job. If you get many compliments in that day, your day is good. Or negative comments, don't be fed up. Just try to improve yourself and make some plans to avoid those negative comments. So negative and positive is part of your job. So take it in an equal way. And the latest dish which we included in our menu lately is like lobster thermidor. It's a very, very fancy dish, which is a continental. And few guests who stayed with us, they asked for it. That is the dish which included in our menu.
Thank you. That's very inspiring, chef. Like do your duty and don't expect anything. And the latest dish, lobster thermidor, very much inspiring. And any motivational techniques for your juniors in the hotel? You follow any motivational techniques?
At present, everywhere, only the money will motivate the staff. Because nobody is coming to any of the places for service. Okay. All the hard work which you are going through is to earn a good money, settle down your life, take care of your life, take care of your parents and everything. Apart from that, the appreciation, that is, if somebody comes and appreciate your hard work or recognize your hard work, that is the most good moment which you really like it. So we appreciate all our staff for the good things which they do everyday basis. That is the motivation which we give to our staff.
Thank you, chef. And normally we see the chef with the chef coat and the chef cap, and I want to just ask some personal questions apart from the chef code. That is, who cooks at home, and what is your favorite dish?
Of course, there is a strict rule at my home. I'm not allowed inside the kitchen because I make the kitchen so messy. So South Indian food is my favorite, of course, because we are used to it. It doesn't mean that I don't like any food. I have the patience for all the food, but if you give my personal choice, I just go for a South Indian simple vegetarian food, as because I tasted a lot, I landed up in this simple food.
Thank you, chef. And before we close, any questions, students? Sudhar sir?
Yes, Satish.
Yes, sir. If you want to add something, any questions you want to ask students?
Students,
No, we can
anyone
keep
want
on
to ask
asking
a
chef
question?
for another 1 hour, 2 hour, and we will take all your time. I just want to
It's okay, not
figure out
an
if
issue.
there is any student.
No, actually, really, I'm very happy to address this meeting, because a lot of people, especially from the catering college, especially in the third year, they have a lot of doubts, and they are into a little bit fear, and ask, after finishing this, what I will do, where I will go. If I go to a hotel, they will ask me, should I have to know everything? No. For everyone who are passing out now and planning to join a hotel, no need to get afraid. Unless and until you have a tag called training, you are a training. We teach you. You come with a confidence that you want, and also you come with a willingness to work in the industry. And also, as I said, at least for 10 years, you have to dedicate the entire time, that is most of your time, for your career, for your self-development. Then only you can be succeed. Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult, because every day, and at hotel, the people, all the chefs in the hotel, they're also human beings. No need to worry or fear about them. If you plan to join a hotel, join a good chains, and especially you're passing out from a good, that is like college like a PSG. It's a very prestigious college. All your faculties are very, that is, they are more knowledgeable than us. So you're very lucky. So join confidently, join any industry, that is any hotels. You will be successful in your career. And I wish everyone all the best for your bright future.
Thank you, Mr. Krishnan. And then from the start, I've been telling the students that chefs don't talk too much. You have to just interact with them. They'll be speaking only for a short time. That's what I was telling them. And definitely your session was, I think definitely the students noted some valuable points. And it was more that they gained a lot of this, because it addressed, you have addressed all the first, second year, third year students of catering science, and also the BVOC hospitality management course. Definitely the points which you have told them, definitely it will be a great information for them. It will be useful for them, so that they know what are the qualities they require. Definitely what is the hardship is there to climb the ladder and to become to rise up to this occasion of being an executive chef. Thank you very much, Mr. Krishnan. And one thing, Mrs. Jayalakshmi, she asked to convey her regards to you.
Thank you very much.
And
he is my senior.
Yes, definitely. And Ashok has also been interacting with him yesterday. Okay. And he also told about this. And then I just want to convey the message.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vasant. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, before we wind up, we have a formal vote of thanks. We have Ms. Revati, faculty from hospitality management, to deliver the vote of thanks. Revati?
Mr. Sudhakar, it's very nice that's giving me a chance to address this webinar. Thank you very much. And in future also, anything session like this, like a practical cooking or something, you please, we'll just work on it and do something.
Yeah, definitely.
We are honored, chef.
Thank you, sir.
We are very happy to have you here, Krishnan. Actually, I was telling someone that I remember the training what we did in Hotel Ashok, Bangalore, way around 90s. So that time, it was really nice then to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Revati is there? Revati?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vasan.
Revdi? I don't know, Usha is there. Maybe Usha can give the formal vote of thanks, Usha.
Revati is there, Satish.
Please
She's
unmute.
there, she's there.
Revati can give the vote of thanks.
Or Usha can continue, anyone. Right, so we are taking much of Chef's time. Chef, we are really, really honored, and we sincerely thank you for accepting an invitation and being here. And though there are a lot of questions and answers, this session is really meaningful because many questions, many doubts have been cleared. And we will be troubling you, we will be disturbing you in the future for the syllabus formation, for demonstration, culinary demonstration, and not many things, Chef. And a big thank you, and a happy Chef's Day. We are honored by your presence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir,
For
I
Mr.
was
Sudhakar,
So my
for
mind
Mr.
was not
Sudhakar, I can
working.
do
That's why I
anything
was sorry.
because he's my good friend. And always I'll be on his side. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you.
Thank you.
Satish,
Thank you
sir?
very much.
Yes, Revati, we have thanked Chef on behalf of you. We were
Sir,
waiting
actually,
for you.
in my laptop, my mic is
No
not working.
issues.
That's why
No
I have
issues,
no
joined
issues.
in my.
No issues. No issues. No problem.
Okay,
I think Mr. Satish
Thank you.
is.
Thank you.
have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Good day, Chef.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Bye.
Yes, guys, you can just be inside. We have another chef joining now. Vikram, you can close your video. And once the chef join, we'll start.
Satish, just a minute. I'll just call him.
Guys, don't go out or be inside. Same like that. Ensure that you guys are asking more questions and making it a more interactive session.
வந்துட்டேன் போயிட்டு வாங்க போயிட்டு வாங்க இல்லாட்டி ஓகேவா சதீஷ் போட்ட டைம் டிலே பண்ண வேண்டாம் Hello? 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 Hello, Namish, can you hear me?
Sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Nimish, you are mute. You have to unmute it. Hello?
Hi, Sudhakar. Am I audible now?
Yeah, clear. You are very clear.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So nice. So nice to see you. It's been quite some time now.
Yes, yes. After a long time.
Great, great, great,
We
great.
just spoken over phone, but today only I'm seeing.
Yeah, you are into education and I am with onions and potatoes still ringing. So that's how it is.
We'll start.
So shall I pause it once you are all ready? Give me a bing and I'm on, or shall we start? Whatever you say.
No, we'll start directly with Satish. Will start with my faculty. And then,
All right.
Yeah.
Hi, Satish.
Hi, Chef. Happy Chef's Day.
Yeah, thank you so much. Happiness is for everybody because I think we are all connected with food. So,
Yes, 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 Chef.
and chefs are the happiest people in general.
Nice, and happy and honored to have you here.
Thank you
And
so
we'll start,
much.
Chef. Yeah. And
Yes, we can.
yes, good morning to one and all present here. PhD College of Arts and Science, premier institute in Coimbatore in South India, had its inception in the year 1947.
All right.
The college has more than 57 cores and runs with total students of 13,000 and odd.
Oh, very
So
nice.
this is one of the biggest college in India, in arts college in India, to have more number of students and more number of courses, 57.
Awesome.
The Department of Catering Science had its inception in the year 1999. And through all these years, we have been conducting a lot of activities, bringing in chefs and conducting culinary demonstration,
All right.
festivals, competitions,
Mhm.
and as a teaching learning process. And today we are celebrating this International Chef Day,
Sure.
and it is celebrated on all the 20th of October every year. And in 2021, the International Chef Day emphasis on the sustainability and the environment to ensure a healthy planet for future generations. It is important for us to teach the children about the impact that production and consumption of food has on the environment. So we have the chef here, and before we go with the meeting, I request our HOD, Mr. V. Sudhakar, to deliver the welcome address. Sudhakar.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Satish. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the management of PhD College of Arts and Science and the Department of Catering and Hotel Management, I'm happy to welcome Chef Namish Bhatia for this International Chef Day today. And at this juncture, I'd like to thank our secretary, our principal, and the vice principal for their continuous support and their guidance all through. Today, in this session, we have Chef Namish Bhatia. I'm very happy and proud to say that he passed out from Srinivas College of Hotel Management in the year 1993, and he has come up in his career through his hard work, patience, and creativity. Today, Chef Namish has created a niche for himself in this hospitality profession. He is one of the renowned chefs in India and also across the globe. He particularly has handled many projects in US, UK, and many other Asian countries. And actually, I'm very, very happy to see him directly for his webinar. And when I interacted with some of my classmates, they were also very happy to have Chef Namish here. Definitely, I should thank Namish for accepting our invitation immediately. Immediate response, even though he was very busy in his schedule. And I thank again Mr. Namish for accepting our invitation. And I welcome all our faculty members, our student friends for this program. Definitely, this talk given by Mr. Nimish Chef Nimish will be inspiring, and definitely you will know what are the qualities to become how hard it is to climb up the ladder to become this executive chef, to rise up to this occasion. And I thank this opportunity. Yes, over to Satish. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhakar. And before we hand over the session to our chef, there is a small introduction. I'm just going to read out the profile of a chef for all the students. We have shared the profile, chef. In spite of that, I would like to just introduce a chef.
Sure, it is
Chef
always good
Nimish.
that we know each other.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef. And Chef Namish Bhatia is popularly known as Chef Bhatia in the industry. The food lover and 3 decades of association with culinary, F&B management, and leadership management experience in leading world-class hotels, restaurants, and have had progressive and challenging career. He has been a part of 25 of India's biggest chefs in India 2016. Apart from his global gourmet journey, he was the corporate executive chef for the Lalit Suri Hospitality Group. His last assignment as a functional head of 11 five-star deluxe hotels, palaces, resorts, and also driving projects, hotels, and pre-openings. He has been instrumental to spread ahead many F&B concepts, restaurants, and events. He has worked in various aspects of culinary expertise, like working and managing commercial kitchens, pre-opening kitchens, facility planning, industrial kitchens, hospital kitchens, fine dining, bulk or banqueting, resort kitchens, theme kitchens. No, you can keep on naming it. And he is versatile, result-driven culinary profession with extensive management experience and demonstrate excellence in managing teams in an ever-changing environment. Skilled in modern culinary trends, extensive kitchen operational knowledge with a proven record of working constructively and collaboratively with the direct reports and others to achieve maximum results. And he was also a part of food stand where top India and Pakistani chef represented with NDTV Good Times, and I've done uh, uh, many short ones in various times. He is well connected with people and received a lot of recognition from media and influential people and fraternity. La Chair de Rotissier, which is the most reputed gastronomic society globally awarded with a couple of medals, and IFCA and World Chef Society awarded Culinary Gracious Award by Chef Charles Carroll, World President WACA's and Top of All Culinary Leadership Award in 2015. So we can keep on naming the awards and the culinary achievements of Chef Vineet Bhatia. But then we are very much happy, Chef, to have you here, and the session is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Satish and Sudhakar, for this lovely introduction. And I'm actually happiest when I talk to young people who aspire to be chefs. You know, these are the people who are the future ambassadors, who would become chefs, who would take over food and beverage, or who are the career hoteliers who want to take this up. So extremely happy to be with you all, and I'm just going to talk about what happened to me being a chef and this whole journey of about 30 odd years in this whole race as it started, and how it benefited, and also the World Chef Day, your theme, and also the theme by WAX, which is World Association of Chef Society, and our president says sustainability is the key, and that's what would take it on. So, cutting all this long value short, it's been 3 decades when I thought that, okay, I need to become a chef, and I need to take this career and move on. So it was not easy. It was initial period was very hard, because it is not like an essay in English where you would form a story and then you can keep on writing. But if you disintegrate the whole thing, it is all about forming those sentences and the words, and then the words into alphabets and the punctuation. If you don't have things right, you cannot make a right meaning to a story in English. Similarly, when you are a chef and when you are cooking, you need to understand from the ingredient to the culinary style whilst it becomes a dish. Even it becomes a good dish, it is not good enough if you do not have the right accompaniment to eat it. And if you have a right accompaniment, if it is you're not sitting in a good restaurant with good moods, it is not what will give you an ecstasy that this is something nice. So what I always believe, that food is something which we are all connected with, and we all have our personal opinions about food. We all feel that the definition of good food is different from different people. For example, if I say good food has got a lot of chilies, somebody may say, oh, good food has got no chilies. Somebody may say, oh, good food is desi ghee, and somebody may say good food is olive oil. So there's different definitions becoming very, very personal. As a chef, we need to connect those things. And as I told you about the story in English, it is also the story in food and beverage. You have to connect right things right. So your food has to be right, your accompaniment has to be right, the place where you're sitting has to be good, and your moods have to be good. And good food is always about finding, good food methods. So this is what I learned, and as I started my journey, it was about learning about those ingredients, how they form, what do they tell us. In English, if you say, if blue is blue, you can relate, okay, that is a color that you see. And as a chef, we're working an erstwhile in some time, and if you want to make some food, you have to understand how that onion marries to that oil, and that marries to the ginger and garlic that further goes and take a vegetable or meat or whatever, and then it forms it. It's very interesting. The day you start loving it, you start becoming a chef. But the most important thing is what you are doing now in your hotel schools, in your catering college, is knowledge. And I always believe knowledge is power. So if you have knowledge, you have that power. Then further to it, it is, cooking is an art that comes from heart. It is not something which it is not a chronological order. It is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is not A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It is a combination of things which have to get it right. So those combination of things makes the food good from your heart. You have to, whilst you're making the food, your senses have to be connected to it. You have to taste. You have to allow that, oh, this salt is okay, pepper is okay, this marination goes good, this fire actually marries well at this temperature for this food to come in. So all this happened in the initial years, and there were highs and lows, there were thicks and thins, and there were actually some times where I was thinking, come on, is this what I have to do? Do I have to only, know about ingredients? Do I have to only peel onions and potatoes and cut the chickens and, clean up the vessels? But I think that is what the whole thing as it started. And once it started, then you're curious to know more. When, like in our education, we were in class 1 to class 4, 5, 6, 10, we learned ABCD, we learned English, we learned whatever we learned, and it was over stages. And as a chef, when you start working and you start learning in stages, your happiness index and you're being curious, the whole index increases. What next? What next? So that is what I think, if you have in your heart, you can always try to learn a little more, and then that's where you become a good chef. Unfortunately, this industry is not something that if you get a certificate, you are forever. For example, you do your engineering, you do Bachelor of Engineering, and you are engineer forever. If you do an MBBS, you're a doctor forever. Or you do a chartered accountancy, you are a chartered accountant forever. But in our industry, whatever you do, you are not there forever until unless you prove your existence that yes, I am there. If you create something and you become a chef, you are not chef forever until unless you are proving yourselves. You are not a food and beverage manager forever until unless you show what your worth is, and you have to show not only to people who work with you, but also the people who are guests, who are your customers. They are the people who are your peers, who work with you. So it is, and that goes for many other operational areas, minus the administrative areas. Yes, the chartered accountant will always be chartered accountant. The engineer will be always an engineer. But if you want to become a good hotelier, you have to love this profession. Until unless you love this profession, you cannot. So the same thing happened with me. Initial thicks and thins were thins, but I started loving it. And it is unlike a balloon which gets pricked and it bursts off. Human endeavors have no defined limits. The same the stone, if it is bulldozed, it breaks into pieces. The same stone, if you hit your body, if you hit your head, it will break your head. The stone will not break. For that matter, the thorn, it pricks you, it bleeds. The same thorn makes you better, so it makes you better. So you have to come the hard way, and that's what I learned. And I'm talking to you about my experiences of being a chef. I believe this this whole thing which happened with me initially, the first few years or probably first decade of my whole experience, and that helped me to don this whole incarnate. That helped me to capture what I am doing today. It is not the fusion, it is not the amalgam, it is the practices which gets you the result. It's your true potential. It is not a checklist, which you say that, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is what I have to do, I've done. No, there is something beyond. And especially if you are in food and beverage, whether you are in bars, whether you are as a chef, whether you are in food and beverage operations, you have to answer your personal equity. And that personal equity was always challenging. It was not something that, okay, I have achieved something, now what next? Now I should be sitting off in my office. No, there is somebody who will copy you, somebody who will defeat you, and you will have to be your satisfaction indexes have to be evergreen. They have to go up. So, like Satish was reading my introduction, and I was rewinding myself. Well, you're writing. When you listen, you feel happy about it. Oh, this is what happened, and yes, you rewind times, and you feel good about it. So I started in hotels. I worked into various kitchens, whether it was restaurant kitchens or bulk kitchens or hotel kitchens. I also worked with airline kitchens, which were difficult. I also worked with theme kitchens, and I set some theme restaurants and things like that. I worked in about 4 continents in this globe. So I worked in Europe, I worked in Africa, Asia for the most this part of it, and I worked in Americas. So I've seen the body language of food and beverage people in general is the same, whether it is a German chef or a Japanese chef or an Indian chef. They all know how to convert that food because the connection is from here. As I said, food is an art that comes from heart. So they love the piece of ingredient which they are cooking. They get connected to it. They get married to it. And of course, you cannot only live upon inheritance knowledge that somebody has taught you, and you only know that. So those days have gone. Industry has changed. Today, knowledge is very, very important. It is not just the bookish knowledge. It is also the knowledge what is happening around the world, what people are doing around the world. Every day there's something new which is happening. If you see across the world, there must not be more than 8,000-10,000 ingredients. I mean, saying that that's also on a little longish side, but and you see the amount of dishes, the amount of culinary styles, they are humongous. They are so much that the same potato and onion can form at least 2,000 dishes in 2,000 different ways. Now, this is not something where you can learn on a book. You cannot learn over thing. It 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 is the styles which we have prepared. You must have heard of Chef Bukus. He is one of the father of cooking, you can say, other than Chef Escoffier. Chef Bukus recently died, and there's a big competition in Europe and worldwide. It is called La Bukus. Chef Bukus said, if a doctor makes a mistake, it is a mistake. If a chef makes a mistake, it is a new recipe. So there is an innovation. There is an innovation. But that innovation has to have a meaning. You can say my pink is blue today, but you have to prove that pink is blue. You cannot say that, okay, because I say it is blue, it is blue. Nobody in the world is going to believe you. So you have to make your right. So when I started, then slowly, I worked into various kitchens, and I became a chef de party to a sous chef. Then I became an executive chef. Then I was a regional head for South India, looking after 4 or 5 hotels. Then I became a corporate chef, holding branch like Intercontinental, Sheraton, and all that. And there were about 2,000 chefs who were reporting to me. Another 2,500 people from food and beverage. So that was a large team, and it is not something that you working in an army where you say dig it and they will dig it without question. You have to make corrections. In our industry, everybody asks you that whether you know it. If you know it, they will believe you with closed eyes. And if they think that you don't know it, then you may be the biggest chef or the biggest president of the world. They will not respect you. I remember some time back, and today things are coming in packets, and you can open a packet and make a mayonnaise. You can open a packet and make a sauce, which either it could be a tomato or which could be Espanol or whatever. So those days, we used to make mayonnaise with eggs and oil and vinegar and mustard and things like that. And people used to whip about 80 eggs, 100 eggs together, and that mayonnaise used to get curdled. And and if the mayonnaise used to get curdled, your boss, the chef who was there, he would not spare you. He'll have a big whip cracking on you. So, and I'm talking about some time back, about 14 years back, when I was executive chef, and there was one young boy in the pantry, and he had the mayonnaise which was curdled. So said, your mayonnaise is curdled, boy. You need to get this rectified. So my sous chef said, and this boy was smart enough, and he said, okay, chef, show me how do I do it. Well, if you do not know how to do it, and if you say, okay, put a little more vinegar or add another egg, it will get it done. That boy will say that, okay, this guy is only a fast bug. He's only talking. He doesn't know what is to be done. That is in answer what this guy said was probably a management principle a manager would have said, and it would have been done. Unfortunately, our delegation does not happen like that. So our delegation happens like this. You take that whisk and you take that bowl. He says, come on, now you have a look at it. And I will make this. If you make a mistake now, next time, you will have to suffer it. So that gives a confidence in a team on you that, okay, my chef can make it. I better make it. Tomorrow I am not. And if she tells you that add this and do it, and if you're not able to do it, he said, chef, you told me to do it. It did not happen. Oh, you told me 1 egg. I added 2 eggs. It was not written, no. So our industry is very, very practical. Our industry is all about hand-holding and getting your mentor, getting somebody who teaches you. So, and that's what I always call our industry is about getting inspired and about being a guru and a shishya, as they would say, is if I learn a trade from somebody, he might be a kami, I might have become a corporate chef, but he is somebody whom I've learned, I will not forget. And that's what is our industry today also. And if you learn from somebody, you learn from somebody. You always have that respect for that guy, that bonhomie as a chef, togetherness as a chef, that leadership as a chef, that speed to get inspired and continuously getting inspired as a chef is only happens when you're a chef or when you're a food and beverage specialist. Food and beverage is also similar, especially if you are in a bar, you're a mixologist, or you are dealing with moods of people. So it is not psychology, it is not just knowledge, it is your experience which comes over the time. Every guest is not the same. It changes. It changes with people to people. Somebody, and it is not, the rule. You serve from left and clear from right, or you clear from left and serve from right. You serve from, give him water. You create some food for him. Every guest is different. For every food is different. So you have to learn, and that's what happened over these years. That happened, and every time there was a correction coming up for me. So being a chef was always a big encouragement. It was not just those onions and potatoes. And I learned that hygiene plays a very, very important role. So there was, when in India ISO 9001, that time was for service industries coming up, and HACCP, you must have heard about hazard control and critical control points. So those things were only happening in Europe, and people in India, they were saying that we have owned hygiene set principles. I said, okay, let me learn about HACCP, and I became a lead auditor. So in Europe, I can audit even with ISO 22000, even wherever in India. So that was my own curiosity to learn. It is not just that you want to become a chef, that you want to become a cook, you want to become a manager. You have to see that what is it for me in the coming times? How do I grow in next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and way long? I was a little lucky guy when I became an executive sous in a hotel. The executive chef wasn't there for some time, and I got a chance to prove myself. And as an executive sous chef, I was controlling a big hotel with 7 restaurants and large banqueting. So I got an opportunity to become an executive chef much faster. And I said, okay, now I become an executive chef in India. How does it happen if you go to some other country? Let me see. And they said, okay, you have to prove yourselves. And then another place which I went was a big, big kitchen. This was Emirates, where there were 5,000 employees in that kitchen, and it was like a factory. And they said, oh, we will only take you there, senior sous, and you have to prove yourselves. I think in 6 months, I was given 17 restaurants by the airport, and a hospital, and some food in the catering to learn. And I said, okay, now this is good enough. Bingo. Let me go back and let me do something else. So I said, okay, let's learn the facility planning. Facility planning is a little different. It's semi-engineering. It's not cooking food only. So I said, all right. So what is the pressure of exhaust? How does the fresh air come in? Where you should put your gas ranges? Where should be an oven? Where should be a tandoor? Where should be a dishwash? How do you plan it? How does it open? And it gave me a big kick, and I said, "Oh, this is fantastic!" And I learned this, and I championed this whole thing. Then there was something else, and I said, "Okay, let's work in a resort." Always commercial hotels, I've seen the big bang. Then I saw resorts were different working experiences altogether. Then I was in Asia, down in Oman and Central Asia. So that's where I got an opportunity to command about 3-4 different projects. One was a resort in an oasis. One was a fast hotel in Dubai. One was also, they had a mall. These owners who owned these hotels, so they had food courts. There was one which was B2B commercial kitchen, where there was an industrial kitchen where we had to cater about 10,000 people every day. And a lot of people before me had run off, saying that there was too much of work. You come in the morning, you don't know what happened in the evening. But I think um, I got married to hotels and kitchens, and that's what I loved the most. Of course, I've got a wife and I've got kids, but this was my first thought, and I think we could run it. I went in a very difficult place. This was a Sheraton hotel in Kathmandu, which had about 5 unions in that time. I'm talking about 2000 as it began, and so and we had a hotel full one night, and entire staff walked off, and they said we are on a strike. Unlike India, you go on a strike to one hotel and you can always call people on a daily wages, have something done. Nepal is a small country, and Kathmandu was a very, very small city. So they had only five-star hotels, and all these people went on a strike together. So you had nobody else, and they did not allow anybody. And the hotel was full, so we had about 500 guests in our rooms, and I had 4 chefs with me, the 4 expats we were, because India was also treated as expat. We had a Chinese chef who was from China. I had a pastry chef who was from France. I had I had another Indian master chef who was from India. So, and we said, what do we do? Putting buffet, may guest, may not guest. What, and our boss, Mr. Anil Gai, that time he was a very, very strict man. He said, no, I want that restaurant running. We were just making arrangements of getting food somehow here and there. There was some food lying in the walk-in cooler, which my employer with my team had done earlier. But everything had to be collated together. Everything had to be put in together. And suddenly I see there was one guy who was peeping out from receiving, and he said, Chef, can I come in? I said, but you are on a strike. You are apart with those guys. I will just help for 2 hours and go. Suddenly there are another 8-10 people coming in. It was only our department, which was kitchen, where a lot of people came in, and I was so happy. I said, wow, man. And okay, this is the love for being this. You cannot have your guest hungry. You cannot have your team unsupported. So it is also togetherness. It is also love, support, togetherness, being a chef, being there and getting yourselves conquered. It is, it is like different facets of life. It is like, what do I say? Strong, strong delegations of known styles, strong delegations of different styles. It is you doing the same thing perpetually with a little similarity of soul. And that is what was kitchen all about. But my learning never ended, and I wanted to learn. So as I became from a commis to a chef de partie to a chef, sous chef, executive chef, corporate chef, then I started my own business and I had my restaurants. And then today I develop restaurants across the world. So I have about more than 30 odd restaurants which I've developed even in Americas, North and South, in Europe. I've also done some work in Africa, done a lot of work in India. So I feel good about it. One reason why I thought that let me come out of the main line cooking is I wanted to also travel. I also wanted to see what is happening around the world, to go to various parts and get food done. I was in America, there's in Los Angeles, so there was we need to hire people who could put roti in the tandoor, and the most expensive thing is manpower. And there were these people who were in dishwash and they were doing some other thing. The best thing I loved is there were these people who were Mexicans, and today I think they became the tandoorias. They learned this trade, and so it is about getting inspired and learning. It is about dazzling the senses. It is not one sense. It is not just what you think. It is not what you eat, what you say, what you touch. I think I go even beyond that. It is how you are in between yourselves. For example, if me and Sudhakar we go to a restaurant together, and maybe that restaurant is very good, and he's eaten in that restaurant earlier, and we two order two different dishes, and if that dish comes in and he says, "Wow, man, this looks great," I will automatically feel that, oh, this is fantastic. Maybe it is not as that good. Or if he says, "Oh, it does not look as good," maybe that dish is fantastic. But I would say, yeah, there's something which is, gone missing. And you say, yeah, I come here every time. It's not like. So it is not your perception as a diner alone. It is also your co-diner, what he perceives about it, what he perceives about the whole knowledge and whole, whole experience, what is to be foreseen or is to be anticipated. So as a chef, you have to not only have those five senses, but there is something, as they would call, between yes and no, maybe something like a po. So that is what you have to find. That is what your anticipation is. And you don't have to be, uh, so methodological that you're 10 on 10. You have to be practical. And if you are practical, you have sound knowledge. I think things cannot be beaten. It's all about uh, taking those baby steps and completing it. Excellence is not about getting that thing right what you've studied. Excellence is always converting those right things together to make it a best possibility, and that's probably is excellence. In food and beverage, we always say that it is the flavor, the fever, the fiesta, the festival that can incarnate. It's you have to create that small dish. It could be as simple dish as an upma. It could be as simple dish as an omelette. It could be as simple dish as a police officer share. It does not have to be a delicacy. You have to create that thing, and to create that, I think it is a combination of your force, it is your heart, your willingness, and it comes through experience. So, to you all young fellows, I would say, do not run after money initially. Do not run after positions. They will come to you. You have to make yourselves like that, where they will all come to you. You have to create your name. A lot of chefs I see, a lot of you youngsters, I sometimes feel a little sorry, because everybody wants to see the end. You don't want to see the movie. You only want to see the climax. So you open a YouTube and you see how somebody is presenting it, take those combinations and present it. But what happens to the gap in between? What happens to the basic cooking? What happens to how you choose that crockery? Why have you chosen that cutlery to eat that? Why is that sauce coming with that food? Where is that accompaniment? It is good what it looks probably in YouTube, but YouTube is not your career. And if you think that YouTube is your career, if you think that you can run very fast and you want to become something what you want to become, then I think you are in a wrong industry. You are not in the right industry. It is right now you should take a decision for yourselves and change your whole curriculum. You could be a chartered accountant, you could be an engineer, you could be an artist. No harm. I mean, they are all great professions, but this profession is different. This profession, even if you delegate things, if you tell somebody who's your subordinate, somebody's your second subordinate, at the end of the day, it is you. I always used to tell even my executive chefs who were holding the hotel executive chefs that, one kami who's cooking their food represents you and represents your kitchen. If he makes it, if he cannot make a fluffy omelette and if he cannot fold something which is right, it is the executive chef which is seen. Who's the chef? Oh, this kitchen does not make good food. So it is all about the linear. It is all about the linear command. It is, my love for food and beverage, my love to be a chef has brought me here. It is not just the holistic ecstasy. It is it is the bond. It is the whole, what do I say? The whole connect to it. I only first, whenever I go and when I started, I first absorb, I first listen, I first learn, then I transmit. I think that I can transmit better colors, I can transmit into better taste, textures. I think that is long and short of me in general, because today the food and beverage is also changing than what we saw. So you can never be a winner. You can never say I've learned everything. Over a period of time, um, things have been changing in our industry. Some time back, probably the biryanis of the world and Indian food was seen as Indian food. There was no competition. Today, the competition is between good and good. It is not between good and bad. There was some time where there was competition between good and bad. You could choose easily. So in the race of between good and bad, people cannot be better than good. So what you can do is you can evolve, you can create, you can be innovative, and that's the name of the game. That's where the Indian kitchen became the regional Indian kitchen. The regional Indian kitchen became Chettinad kitchen, became Kashmiri kitchen, became Bengali kitchen, became whatever, became Mughalai kitchen, and with so much of race now within that each kitchen there are so many kitchens. I did a research on 39 regional cuisines of India, and I came to Bangalore first quite some time back. I think it's been about 20 odd years, and I asked people what is the cuisine of Bangalore. So they told me, "Oh, Bangalore! It's all about that Mysore cuisine. It is that sappu saru. They eat this ragi muddes." I said, "Oh, is that all?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, let me go." I researched and I found there were 6 indigenous cuisines in Karnataka, and Bangalore being capital city. So there is a coastal state where your princely inheritance in Kundapur, in near Mangalore, where you have different food. You have Mysore, the king has a different food. You had a Tipu Sultan, just 20 miles from the kings of the Mysore, the Vadiyars. He was non-vegetarian and the kings were vegetarian. The cuisine becomes different. So North Karnataka, the cuisine becomes different. Similarly, in your state, in Tamil Nadu, there are so many cuisines. There is a lot of history to it. And apart from those princely cuisines, we've also had cultures in our houses where each locality, each customary had a different way to cook things differently. So that tomato can cook a sambar, it can cook a rasam, it can cook a tomato sauce, it can be an Italian, it could be whatever. That tomato produces 1,000 dishes. So your learning is never enough. It is, you have to be continuously learning. And if you can learn, you can be in this industry, because you have to conquer again. If you don't learn, people will tell you, "Oh, that guy who was there, he was there as a big man sometime back, it's finished." You have to prove your existence every day. Yes, I am there because I know what is happening. There was things started with traditional food, became progressive food, came to molecular gastronomy. Molecular gastronomy became passe. Today, people are talking about sustainability. People are talking about ecology. People are talking about the growth of the the agriculture produced from that particular land where you are living, the meat coming from that particular land, forming of right culinary processes which are international to this ingredients. What you get is sustainable cuisine, because sustainability is all about a chain of things. You are not thinking about yourselves. Of course, as a chef, you cannot be selfish. As a food and beverage, as a hotelier, we cannot be selfish because we live for people, we enjoy people. A boy who's cleaning a room in a housekeeping does not feel that he's a sweeper. He says, "I'm a housekeeping boy." He takes a pride in that. You know why? Because our industry is different. It is about being with your customers. We don't call our customers as customers. We'll call our customers as guests. That is our relationship with them. And we say we are professional. So we do not call ourselves as cooks. We call ourselves as chefs. We do not call ourselves as beras or, we call ourselves as F&B professionals. That's the difference, I guess. And the race is on until you are running. The race does not stop even if you win. You have to continue to get that thing right, and you get that thing right, you have to continue running until and unless you feel that, okay, let me take a back seat. Now I will enjoy. So I think they say the proof of pudding in eating. So we had a lot of flair on food. We had the proof and we had the pudding. Now you guys decide whether you want to eat, you want to run, you want to stop. And I wish you all the best. Cheers. If I bored you, I'm sorry, but that's what it is all about. If you gain something, you enjoy. We will connect.
No, chef. That was really, really inspiring. We can keep listening to you. If we can use another an hour or more. So good and so inspiring. We are really happy and honored. And students, if you have any quick questions, you can just go for the questions.
Namish, it was wonderful. Some beautiful quotes also, all through. Very nice.
No, this is what I have done. So I don't have to read anything. This is what is some chapters of my life. When I talk to you guys who are in teaching profession, it brings me back there, and then I say, okay, rewind, rebound. Makes me happier.
No, but still, we have to be in touch with you to learn the latest concepts.
Sure, I would love to. See, food is ever evolving, and especially where you have people who are aspiring people, they would not see what is happening today. They would want to see what is happening tomorrow. And if they land up in the right space, right running speed, if they're doing what they're learning, what will happen tomorrow, they can reach faster to their targets.
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
There is a student, Akshaya. She has asked, what qualities do you believe makes a good chef? Any good qualities? What do you believe makes a good chef?
All right. There are actually a lot of them, and I think I said in my thing. First quality is that you have to be very patient. You have to first learn. You don't have to say that I know everything. So first you have to learn. You have to absorb, and then you have to give back. Learning is one thing. Number two, what you are doing, you are in a college, so you are learning knowledge. It is not necessary that you are using that knowledge at that time. It is not that. A lot of people say what I learned in books in college was bullshit and did not give me anything but that works. That is the power that connects you to do the right things right. Number three is, as you learn, do not think that I know everything. You should always be in this race. So consistency is the biggest key to success if you want to become a chef. You have to love your profession. Again, very, very important thing. You have to love what you are doing. There can be thicks and thins. There can be some days you may burn something. Maybe some things you do right, but people don't take it that you're doing right. I'll give you an example. There was some time back, and I've always seen that there's delicatessen food which is available in Europe and Americas, where they eat cooked food cold, like smoked salmon, parma ham, and various other things. So I said, when they can eat this food which is cooked hot some time back and eaten cold, we in India, our culture tells us, we cook in our homes a lot of time, and then we reheat the next morning and we eat it. It is not stale food. We make kebabs, which was, our history says that we used to barbecue together, and the next morning, whatever the meat was left, we used to roll in that bread and go there to do our hard tasks. So it is a delicatessen, and I created something called as thande kebab, which means cold kebabs. And everybody initially, and they said, "What, cold kebab?" And kebabs can only be hot. I mean, they told me chef has gone berserk. He's gone mad and he's doing all that. I said, okay, allow me to put this in the menu. And everybody said, no, how can you do that? You know, our hotel will get a bad name. We will not have all that. So I created a tent card menu for a few days and I said, okay, let's do it. And we used to have a lot of people who were not Indians. They were also coming in. And I had these kebabs which were low on fat because they were cooked the day before, like a smoked salmon or any other thing would do. And it used to have a dressing and an accompaniment. That became such a big hit that sometime later, the BBC and all those people, they covered me and they asked me, what is this cold kebab? I'm probably known a lot of places as a cold kebab man. But when it started, everybody said, this is bad, yaar. You've gone mad. You've done something else. This is not correct. So your thoughts have to be correct. You have to be right on what you do. And you have to be convinced yourselves. And remember, the most important thing, what they say in our industry is you have to cook for a guest and you are not the guest. If you like chilies and you are standing in a sushi station, because you like chilies, you cannot put in a sushi because you love it. It is what your guest does it. So you have to cook for somebody who's your guest and you are not the guest. If you remember that, I think you'll be successful. Akshay, right? Akshay. Am I able to answer your question?
Yes, chef. Akshay,
Alright.
Akshay. That's wonderful. That's everyone will remember that they are cooking for the guest and they are not the guest. And
Yes.
hope many students will take that. Learning is a continuous process, and the knowledge is power. I hope they'll also take that. And
Yes.
students, any more questions?
Piyush requires strong leadership skills. How many employees? How many employees? I think I have a bit of. Okay. Yes, it is all about leadership skills. When you start learning, when it's your first day in your kitchen, that is a day you start learning leadership skills. I said the bonhomie and the leadership is two very, very important things when you become a chef. Bonhomie is being together, brotherhood. If you are in your tents, it is the chef's community. It is they will first help you. They may not come to you in a very polite manner, but they will correct your path. And that is where you learn leadership. Here, the leadership, the language, the style, the accent is a little different because you're not always dealing with the most educated people. So you're dealing with people who are very highly skilled, but they are illiterate, absolutely illiterate. They don't know what to read, right? They have preconceived notions about their thing. They have learned this trade through their father, through their grandfather. They've learned this trade to earn their living, not to have the love for this food. And if you can command it, you cannot have a better leadership than this. We learn a lot of management principles, but here, experience and a combination of these principles that finds you right.
Thank you. Yes, chef. Yes, chef. And any questions? Any more questions, students? If you have any more questions. And as you have told that excellence is converting right things together. That's the key for success for many people. Students, any questions? If you have, we'll go for it. So that
Don't be scared. Please ask. No question is a stupid question. If it is in your mind, I'm willing to answer you.
Yes, sir. Sudhar, sir.
Yes.
Can't hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any more questions, students? Would you like to ask some questions?
They had many questions, but then in the morning session they had few questions. Now I believe many of the questions have been answered through your talk, chef. Such a wonderful talk. Now we was keenly observing, and I also had 2-3 questions, but everything got covered. The way you spoke. Such a
Awesome.
wonderful.
I'm happy that I could convince you guys and give you something, a little take on being a chef, and especially today being International Chef's Day, where we celebrate our profession, we celebrate ourselves, and so that's how it is.
Yes. Sudha sir,
Satish,
oh, there's a
Ram
question.
Babu.
Which
The
is
question
better
is-
to
yeah,
become a chef,
yeah.
hotel standard recipe, or own?
I didn't get you, please.
No. The thing is, the Ram Babu, a student, is asking a question like, what is the possibility of us entering in a kitchen and introducing our own recipes?
Why not? You have to first command. You have to first learn. You have to first absorb what is happening. You have to understand why an onion marries a tomato when the oil is hot. Why you have to understand why you should pour a chicken later or a vegetable later to convert this into a dish. The day you understand this whole process, you will be able to command your own recipes. But don't think of running very fast if you want to command your recipe yourselves and you don't know what is the right combination. Then you will fall into a deep place where you'll not be able to come out, because not from other people, not from the industry. It is you who is having a race against yourselves rather than anybody else. You definitely, all these chefs, once you are able to learn, you are able to create a new recipe. That is why there are so many new menus. That is why there are so many ways a dish is presented. That there's so many accents in this whole thing. You don't have to be a good orator. You don't have to be a good writer, but you have to be a good chef if you are being a chef. You have to be just doing right things right.
Yes, chef. Thank you, chef. And if there's no questions, no, Sudha sir, we'll go for Sudha
Students.
sir.
Yes, Satish.
I think they are
Yes, sir.
hungry. I finished in a time where it is 1 o'clock, so they must be probably waiting to jump off. Yeah.
and through my observation, many of their questions have been answered. We'll take a feedback and we'll send it to you, chef. That was such a wonderful
Thank you
journey
so
of a
much.
chef.
I would love to hear back from you, and I
Yes,
wish
yes.
all the very best to all students. I think we are 78 people who connected on this whole thing together today.
And we have many students watching through YouTube also.
All right. So my
And-
best
and-
wishes to them, and let them do good. Let them become good career hoteliers, and whatever you wish you do. Remember, if you love, then only join this profession. If you don't love, there's no harm, because if you regret after 7, 8 years, then looking back becomes a little difficult. But enjoy eating food, enjoy becoming a chef, and kudos.
Once again, thank you, Mr. Namish, for joining with us and then sharing your valuable thoughts and information on this occasion. And nice to meet you once again. Thank you.
Love to meet you, and
and
we'd love to meet you
we-
sometime in person.
Yeah, sure.
chef, we have a colleague, Soumya. Soumya is there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Soumya. She wants to thank formally for
Thank
the
you so
webinar.
much.
Yes, Soumya, the session is yours.
Sir, it's a privilege and great joy for me to deliver vote of thanks, sir. And I have a small quote for you, chef. A chef
Okay.
must think like a scientist, organize like an accountant, and plate like an artist, and cook like a grandma. The story what you gave us, it was very inspiring. And this quote, I felt like saying it for you because the words what you gave
Thank you.
really apted this, sir.
No, true, so very, very rightly said, and thank you so much.
I would like to thank my management and my principal for giving us the opportunity to organize such event. And we are also backed up with a team, very motivating teachers and dedicated students. So I thank them and all the participants who have participated in this event, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, and all the best to you guys. Great.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, chef.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Namish. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Uh,
upward arrow.
students, Please join for the next session at sharp at 2:50. You can join at 3 o'clock. 2:50 be there. 30 we'll have a last session. So we have a chef from Goa addressing this session. So please, all of you join on time. Thank you. Thank you very much.